What is going on, YouTube family? Welcome back to another episode of NAS100 analysis today. And yes, I know I've been gone for a little while, but obviously I'm back now, so I'm gonna drop the analysis of what we can expect for this week, and we'll take it from there. And this is just going to be based upon how I plan to move in the markets for the coming weeks and days or months, etc. So first things first, we're on a daily right now, right? And the last time I did a video was a week ago today. So last week Sunday, right? So last week Sunday, what did I talk about? I'm just trying to zoom in a little bit, and then we're gonna have a brief discussion as to what we did, how we did it, and we're gonna go off from there. Okay, I think this is a decent enough size. Just bear with me one moment. Let's bring out the trusted phone, as it's going to help me figure out the days I was in trades and the days I wasn't. And I took a number of trades last week. So last week I took a number of trades. I took a couple, I lost some, I won some, but overall my whole week I was profitable. And that's the kind of results that we're always after, trying to collect as many pips and as many points as possible. So just go and do some quick look. Okay, right, so we have an idea where we were. So I'm just going to zoom in real quick. I'm going to focus on this area. So I got most of these blue wicks over here. I pretty much got, say, 80% of it all, based on where I entered and where I jumped off, and I was actually able to stack, right? I was actually able to stack, and then I was able to sell the market down as well. Actually, no. I left all of these. I didn't do anything here, but I did something here, and then I got caught out around this area, and then I decided to leave it alone. And then just before the close of market, I grabbed about another maybe couple pips, small amount, tiny profits, like super tiny, right? So I'm going to go into the hourly, and I should be able to explain this a little bit better in terms of how I moved. And then with that covered, we're going to look into what we can expect from next week, right? So what happened was I took a trade over here. I took a trade right here, right? And I wasn't sure if it was going to go my way or not. Like, guys, I promise you, I was not sure. I was not 100% sure that it was going to go my way. But I was like, you know what? If it does push up, then great. It's going to work out really well. If it doesn't, then I'll just wait for the next move. But at this level over here, I was fairly confident it was going to push up. So that's what I did. So I put my buy at around this level. My stop pushed just under here, right? Because this move had already taken place. So my stop was about here, right? And then it rolled, and then it got to about this level. It got to about this level, somewhere around here somewhere, right? And then I added on another trade on. So I added another trade right here. And then I moved my stop, which was over here, up to about here. So I had this whole area here covered, so locked in, right? And then as price began to push up some more, I then moved up my trailing stop some more, right? And then I added another buy at this level. So I added another buy at this level, and that didn't go well at all. So I added another buy over here, right? And it didn't work out. So what happened was price came down. At this point, I had moved my trailing stop to about here. So I secured all the trades that are going except for the third one. So obviously price came and then took me out right here, right? So I did quite well, and that loss wasn't really anything, just because it covered all of the profits I had gained from the previous trades. So then what I did was, right, I then tried to enter in another trade over here again. I think I put in another buy around this level. So I put another buy at around this level over here. that went bad, right? So that went bad, and that was towards the close of the day. Because I remember this day quite well, because it was a bank holiday, not a bank holiday, it was a tube strike in London. So I ended up getting an Uber to work. So before I left the office, right, I had put in a pending order over here, right? I'd put in a pending order over here, right, with a really tight stop, and I was targeting this area over here. So I was targeting this area over here, right, as the potential place to get in, right? So if I was to line up that wick, you see it went in perfectly, right? And then I just covered the bottom. So I just covered the bottom of this zone with a stop, and price triggered in, because I was actually on a phone call talking to my mate about some random stuff. I think we was talking about that whole Nord Stream pipeline in Russia, like how it went down, our theories as to what we think happened, how it happened, etc. I'm not going to go into all of that with you right now, but that's what we was talking about. So after I finished that call, obviously I didn't even bother check my phone, and when I was talking to my friend on the phone, I had actually forgotten I had even placed a trade. So I'd forgotten all about it, and I was just obviously just in the Uber riding home, just not even thinking about it. So I got home and I was like, ooh, I should have got into a trade. I remember saying that to myself, I should have got into a trade, because I saw this push to the upside. And then I opened up the app, and lo and behold, my trade had triggered, and it was pretty much flying all the way up. So then what I did was, obviously, naturally as you do, is I brought in my trading stop to secure as much profit as I could hold, right? Because I'm not trying to lose anything. So I put in a trading stop about this level over here, right? And then as the day went on, I dragged it up even higher, right? So then when it pulled back, it triggered me out, and I didn't do anything. So that was it. So then the following day, that was the Friday, so I was expecting non-farm payroll to come out, and I was anticipating to start selling from around this level up here. That was where I was anticipating to start selling from. So non-farm payroll came in. This was non-farm payroll over here, right? And it just flew all the way down. And there was a couple instances where I wanted to jump in, but a good colleague of mine, because we always talk about trading, he normally does currencies. I prefer to do indices, as you know, hence why this channel is all about indices, right? NAS100. So he was like, look, just don't get into anything, leave it until it settles. So obviously I'm watching this whole thing fly down, and I can't even concentrate in the office anymore. Right, so this is a Friday, so all the stuff all the buys that I did, these were the following days, right? These were the previous days, so this is a Friday now. So I'm now thinking, oh, what should I do? I'm watching all these profits fly down. So obviously I want FOMO, right? So I want FOMO around this level here somewhere. It was towards the end of the day, right? I want FOMO around here somewhere. So what I did was I jumped in, and like I said, the profits was tiny, because I literally got stopped out by a trading stop. So I think I got in around here somewhere. So I got in around here somewhere, and I brought in my trading stop about here somewhere, right? So that this was my trading stop, this one over here, right? So then obviously price came, went down, it was good. I then bought the trading stop. It kept going all the way down, because it was going light blue. No, it was going dark blue. So it went all the way. It went all the way up first before it started shooting all the way back down again. Actually, no, tell a lie. Got that wrong. Right. So before this wick had even taken place, right? Yeah. So what it did was it shot down. So it came all the way up, right? Then it shot all the way down. Then I brought in my trading stop, and then somewhere or another, I think it pushed back up again, and then it triggered me out. So that's what happened. So literally, I'm not in any trade. I did take a couple L's, so I took a couple L's up here. Right, I took a couple L's in this area. So I took an L with this one over here, and I took an L with this one over here, and I recouped. Basically, these two moves over here, this buy over here and this buy over here, right, recouped everything. And this was just, and this move from here to here was extra, and this move from here to here was just a little bit extra. So all in all, we done really well last week. We done really well last week in terms of trades, right? And this is something that I'm going to be replicating again this week. So now what we're going to do, we're going to talk about what we think could happen in the markets as markets is about to open in a few hours. We are a few hours away, because it's actually 6 o'clock in the UK. Markets isn't going to open till about 11 o'clock at night. So we've got a few hours to go until markets actually open, but markets will be opening today. And I may do something tonight, or I may not do anything at all. It just depends on how I feel, right? So let's just clean all this up. And let's have a look. First off, we're going to go into a day just to get the overall vibe as to what market is doing right now. Get the overall vibe as to what market is doing right now. So I was mentioning previously that what we had here was some form of a double bottom because of this area over here, right? It's kind of confirmed. It's not in a direct alignment, but it is more or less in that area, and it's playing games. It could push up some more, or we could break down. But with the shape that I'm looking at right now, okay, I would have to say that I believe price will be breaking down instead of going up. So this level over here is where I could think price is going to go to, but market does what market wants to do, right? So like I say, don't quote me on this. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not giving you financial advice. All I'm basically stating here is my opinion based on where I think price is most likely going to go when markets open, and I think it's going to come down to about this level over here, or it's going to come down to this level over here, right? But this level, I have a feeling is going to break it. I have a feeling this level of 10771.91, this level is actually going to get broken, and this is looking like the more attractive level for price to go to, which is 9752.44. Don't quote me on this, because like I say, I'm not a financial advisor and I'm not giving you financial advice. This is purely an opinion based on what I think is going to happen. It does not necessarily mean it is going to happen. So if you're on here for a signal, I strongly recommend you learn to do the work yourself. Other than that, you run the risk of blowing your account, because once again, I am not an expert, right? Okay, so this is how it's looking right now, and we do have a bit of an ascending wedge, right? In my opinion, this looks like it's an ascending wedge. It hasn't completed the formation yet, but it looks like we're having the starting shape of an ascending wedge, right? And we don't really have a lot to worry about in terms of news, because non-farm payroll has already taken effect, and that was Friday. That was this move here. So this whole move is non-farm payroll. From 2:30 Friday afternoon up until the end of play, market did one thing: go down, right? So now I'm now trying to figure out what is market most likely going to do when market opens in the next few hours. Okay, so the first thing that I'm thinking right now, okay, is that we may have an ascending channel, right? This is it. This is what I think. An ascending channel. Okay, now don't quote me on this. Do not quote me on this as this is 100% going to happen, because that, like I say, I don't know. I do not know if this is what is actually going to happen or not. It could happen, it may not happen. It depends on a whole variety of things, right? But I think we may have something here in regards to an ascending channel, right? Just because this high is higher than this high over here, right? And this low is lower than this one over here, but however, this is yet to complete. So once this is completed and starts to push up, we will know if this is an actual lower, a higher low in comparison to this low over here. And if this happens to be the case, then it's relatively simple in terms of how I plan to move in the markets for the coming days, right? And that is, I'll be looking for long positions towards the top of this structure over here. That is what I'll be looking for, right? However, if it starts to consolidate down here some more and it looks like it wants to break downwards, then this area where I marked out now becomes a really good place for price to go to, and that is this level over here, this zone right here, right? This zone. That's this zone right here, and that is 9747.86. Okay, so that's what I think. And in between this channel itself, so we're just going to measure out roughly how much pips is in here for us, just to make sure if the juice is worth the squeeze on it, right? So let's have a look. And in this channel, we're looking about 804 pips, so it's not bad. It's not bad. It's a nice little reward if it's caught right, and if it goes in the way that I think it's going to go. Because like I say, I don't know what market's going to do, right? I don't know what market is going to do. This is just my best estimate as to what I think is going to do and how it's going to do it and how I plan to navigate it. So once I can see a confirmation of a push to an upside, okay, at that point I would be considering looking to jump in, right? And if you was to use the MACD as a rule on this, right, yeah, then this particular level is in a perfect place for me to consider putting in buys. Why? Because this was the high point of a MACD right now. Okay, so this was the high point of the MACD, the highest MACD, okay, right? And then price came down, gave us a nice little red, okay? And then it's now gone up, and this high on the MACD is higher than this high, okay? So now that it's pushed back down again, right? And what that usually means is this is the one that I took. So I took this one in comparison, and obviously I won because of it, and now it's flown all the way down. But does that basically mean that although it's pulled back from this level, because MACD over here produced another high as well, right? So if I make this a little bit bigger, you might see what I'm talking about. So we're looking at the green points, because the green points is letting us know what to do and how to do it, if it's a true high or if it's a true low, okay? So we can see here that this is a true high, right? And we can also see over here that this too is another true high, right? And it's come down from that. So, and so far we only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 touches. So we've got 3 touches on the top and the potential 2 touches on the bottom. We're waiting for a final touch, which is this one over here, to touch the bottom. Once it's done that, okay, looking at how the markets will be looking at on the day, right, I will then decide if it's a good chance it's going to return back up to this top side again, at which point I'll be looking to be putting in buys to ride it up to the upside. That would be my plan for the start of the week, right? That may change depending on what it does. If it breaks lower than this, point over here, okay, then what I would be doing is I'll be looking for a consolidation to confirm it wants to go down some more, and then I will then join it to ride it all the way down, right? But if we were just to lay this out as a battle plan as to how we plan to obviously grab as many pips and points as possible, the most straightforward point of attack that I can see right now is a long position, right? And that is only going to be based on what price does when it gets to this level over here. If it starts to settle, if it starts to consolidate, we need to take all of those things into considerations before I decide what I'm going to do. If it's an ascending wedge, then I know price is going to be breaking down, so I will start looking for long short positions. If it's a descending consolidation, then I would then be preparing to take long positions. But at the same time, the consolidation doesn't always mean it's going to do what it says is position itself to do. So it could be an ascending channel, right? Consolidation channel, okay? And it ends up being long. That happens. Like, guys, I kid you not, it happens, right? So you really have to play this by ear when market opens as to how you plan on doing things, okay? And most importantly, keep an eye on Forex Factory, especially the news in regards to the US, right? That will also help you in terms of making decisions as to if you're going to go long or if you're going to go short. And also, most people like to use the CNBC app in regards to the NAS. They use that to trade. I don't bother with that at all. But it does work. I'm not gonna lie, it does work, but I actually don't use it because in my opinion it's super delayed. Like, when it's giving you the signal, you've missed a fair bit of news, right? And I prefer to kind of keep my eye on the charts. But if you're new to this and you're trying to figure out what's the best way to go about it, a lot of people are using the CNBC app to navigate the NAS, and there's tons of videos on that. I think I've actually done a video some time back. I can't actually remember the video that I did it on. I can't actually remember it, but I know I've done that though, and I did it with TradingView and just selected the top 5 or the top 6 NASDAQ stocks as an indicator, and I showcased it all. I used to do a fair bit of breakdown on those, but yeah, so it works, right? But I'm not going to be doing that. We're just going to be purely focusing on analysis and obviously market structure, and we're going to use that to navigate. So guys, make sure that you check out all the other videos that are in the 4 corners or 3 corners of this video towards the end, so you see them, the videos that will come up, and there's going to be a subscribe button on there as well, so make sure you hit that too if you haven't subscribed already. And yep, I'll see you in the next video. So until then, this is Pips and Points signing out, and let's collect some pips and points this week. All right, so guys, have an awesome one. It's been a blessing, and I'll see you all in the next video, which will be very, very soon.